Before I introduce Sunny, I would want to ask one question to all of us over here present. How many of us want to be persuasive and influential in our life? Can you raise their hands? I think all of us, right? That's why we are over here. Now, the next speech is all about persuasive influence. How can we merge both of them? So please pay attention to Sunny's speech. His pathway is persuasive influence and is level 1 and speech number 4. The main idea of the speech is to attain feedback, which is by me or any other and Chira's team, and then use that feedback for the next speech. And with that, I want to introduce Sunny and best of luck for your speech.
Thanks, Toastmaster. So over to Toastmaster Sunny. Toastmaster Sunny, Norman Doors, Toastmaster Sunny.
Thank you for introducing such a wonderful topic to us, Vaishnavi. So my topic today is Norman store, and recently I've been visiting a store, and I was trying to push the door open, but it was not opening. And immediately one of the guy from this store opened the door from the inside and let me enter the store. I faced a similar experience while I was in the basement of my office. I was trying to push open the basement door, but it was not opening because I was supposed to push the left side of the door to open it. And I'm sure you must also have faced the same issues with the door. Can I know some of the experience from the audience who has faced issues with the door?
I faced the same issue while coming here. So there were two doors, I was pushing the wrong one.
Yes, exactly. I mean, yeah, Michelle.
I'm a little hilarious and you can all have a hearty laugh here. So, you know how the door was clean, transparent, and people cleaned their door. And I did not notice, I was in my own world, and I literally thought that the door is open and I banged into it and it left with a, you can imagine the rest.
So in that case, you're not hilarious, Ruchira. I think in that case, the designer who has done it is not paid that much of attention about the user who's gonna use it. And he has not put the proper signs there or use the proper interaction principles over there. So the topic over here is again the Norman store. Dan Norman, the UX guru, in his early in 1980s, coined the word called Norman store. It is from his experience when he was traveling around his country. He has experienced so many doors like this was not designed after paying the proper attention of the UX and user experience design. He has written about so many articles about the good and the bad designs which he has experienced so far. The two most basic characteristics of design is discoverability of the product, like what the product can help you with, and another one is understanding how to use that product for our use. So these are the two characteristics of the design which a product should have and which the as a designer should implement in that product. We interact or encounter so many products, unusual new products in our daily life, but still we are able to use that product so efficiently. Have you ever imagined wondered how we are able to use it so efficiently? No, right? Because as a designer, we always try to connect those dots in those products, right? We try to use the mental model of our users, which have used the similar kind of product in the past, and try to bring the same mental model in the product which he is using. The five principles of design, which we use while we build a product, while we create a product, are affordance, signifiers, affinity, constraints, and feedback. I'm not going to talk about all these five principles over here because we don't have obviously that much of time. But I'm going to talk about the most important principles over here. First is affordance, and another is signifiers. So affordance, by its term, we can easily relate to. But when we use the same term for the design, the meaning of this term become more relevant to us, right? So affordance in design means the relation between the product or the object with the user. The affordance is not the property of that product, right? The table is hard or the chair is moving, not the property, but how that product or the object has been used by the user, right? So now this chair have this support. So now we can sit on this and we can afford to sit on this. Similarly, the glass have the affordance of transparency. Like we put the glass on our door or on our window to get the lights inside our house. But at the same time, it is also creating an anti-affordance, which is preventing the passage of any particles or any pigeons or maybe any other particles or dust inside the door, inside the house. So what I wanted to talk about is the affordance can be perceivable and it can be non-perceivable as well. Perceivable as in when the affordance is able to illustrate itself, like talk about itself, like the doorknob. We know when we are approaching the doorknob, we can rotate it, we can push it, we can pull it. So this is the perceivable feature or the property of the affordance. But when the affordance is not perceivable, we try to put some kind of sign, signals, or some kind of clue to it, right? And these clues, signs, or signals are called signifiers. That brings me to the second principle of design, which is signifiers. The signifiers can be artificial or it can be natural as well. The natural signifier could be the trail on the snow terrain, where we can see, okay, some humans has passed through that trail, so it could be the right path. So that is signifier for us. At the same time, when we are going to the railway station and we see the absence or the presence of the waiting passengers, we can easily figure out whether the train has arrived or left. So that is a signifier for us. Similarly, whenever we are getting confused in our action, we try to look for some kind of signifier. Similarly, like in the parking yard, when we are trying to exit with our car from the parking yard, we try to look for the exit point or exit signifier somewhere. So it's a human tendency to look for a signifier, and as a designer, we need to fulfill or we need to show that sign and try to identify the confusion which user might get while he is interacting with the product. So I have talked about the signifier and I have talked about the affordance. Affordance is the relation between the product and the object, and it also tells what is possible actions which user can have with that product. At the same time, signifier tells the user what actions is possible with that product. In the case of the first story which I was talking about, where I was getting confused with the door, whether should I push it or pull in. The simple design could be a flat aluminium plate or the metal plate on it, which simply signifies that this door is pushable. But when you put handle, then by the human nature, whenever we see the handle on the door, we try to pull it. So that's a simple design. The last note of my speech is whenever you are identifying these kind of doors, please pay attention, try to see from the Norman's point of view whether this door is correct design or right design or not, and also try to evaluate how can you improve this design. So thank you so much. This is Sanam.